just a few minutes ago, I was chatting with Doug, and he said that he enjoys actually staying over here on the property when he visits, because it's nice to be part of the routine and the kind of the way that we operate, noticing particularly that it's quite nice and relaxing to be able to not have to make all the decisions, not have to make decisions, and just do what needs to be done, organized by somebody else. In a sense, letting go of having to control things, and that's just a really sign of a mature practitioner. Somebody who actually delights in not having to kind of have one's own way and assert oneself to get what one wants in situations. And that's, of course, as everybody experiences firsthand, that's a lot of the training here, is to give oneself over to the community, give oneself over to the routine, and suspend this drive for personal control over every moment of our experience. We think we know what we need, and we think we know what's best for us all the time, and we tend to act on that desire to make things the way we want to make them. And sometimes, there's a sense of what would be useful at any one time. But oftentimes, there's also some sort of underlying kilesa that's pushing that clarity of this is what I need. So just to watch that and to use the system that we have set up here to help understand that. It's not like the people who are in charge are trying to control everything, and we divide up our duties and give different people sets of responsibility. So, for instance, we've got the work period, and we've got the work monk who's in charge. And unless it's some sort of clearly logical issue, like I'm not sure I can drive the truck down that hill, which is a very useful bit of feedback. We don't want somebody turning the truck over just by diligently following orders. So that's a useful kind of a thing, but to watch and to see where the mind kind of, I'd rather not work in the kitchen, or I'd rather work in the office, or I'd rather be outside raking trails, or I'd rather whatever. Just to sort of say, okay, well, there's work need to be done. The work monk is the one who's in charge, and I'll just let go and do what needs to be done based on that. And actually just noticing that there's a sense of relief. There can be a sense of relief in just letting go of that sense of always needing to control one's day-to-day activities. So, and that's 90% of the training here, it seems like, is just letting go of that control. Because if we can do it in little ways, like the routine here, getting up for morning puja, coming for evening puja, tapping into the schedule, learning the core wat, and just bowing to the system in a way, in a reasonable way, of course. Like I said, it's not suspending your own intelligence and judgment if something doesn't seem right at all, but to let go whenever possible. Because really, ultimately, most of all of this isn't under our control, and it's a good practice for when the time comes and the body's deteriorating, falling apart, getting sicker, getting old, and eventually the dying process of realizing that, as much as we can influence things little by little, bit by bit, that ultimately, as the winter retreat kitchen crew saying goes, is relax, everything's out of control. So just to really live that and practice with that, that's 90% of this whole process of complete letting go. So offer that for the morning reflection.